Greetings. Hello, I am Eric Miskell with EMS Now. Welcome to this edition of EMS Now Up Close. Today, it's my pleasure to speak for the first time with Lou Hughes. He's the new CEO of Integrated Microelectronics, Inc., who the industry knows as IMI Global. IMI Global, of course, is one of the, I think, ranked 22 or 23 this past year in the top 50 global EMS list based out of the Philippines. And Louis took over as CEO of that just a few months ago, succeeding Arthur Tan, his predecessor, who was always very gracious with giving his time to us here at EMS Now. And I'm glad to see that Louis is continuing that tradition. So, Louis, I'm here to kind of get to know you. It's my first time getting to talk to you. I've known of you in the industry for years, so I appreciate the opportunity to learn more about you and hear about your new gig there at IMI. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Eric.
Yeah,
this is a great opportunity for me and for IMI. So, to let the world know, I guess, the latest and greatest with the company.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you have an interesting career. You started as an OEM and then kind of moved over to EMS kind of later. So I always love that when people see it from both sides like that. But what it tells me is that you clearly know this industry from both sides. So tell me, what was it about IMI that made this such an attractive opportunity for you?
I think to start, the ownership. I've had experience now with, public companies, NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange. I've had experience in private equity. And this company, while being public on the Philippine exchange, the majority owners are the Ayala Corporation and the Ayala family. And I really, really appreciate them as owners, and because they're essentially my boss, right? So, they care a lot about the company. They care a lot about the people, and they don't have this singular focus of short-term gain, right? They want to do the right thing by the company, the customers, the employees. So while, every owner is interested in profitability, I think that their interests and involvement in the company go way beyond that. So to start off, that's probably the thing that most excited me about this opportunity. And then, IMI has a fantastic footprint, being located, at least for this moment in time, with the predominance of their footprint outside of China. And as you had, as we've discussed in the past, this globalization thing versus regionalization. I think that from a regional perspective, IMI is in the right spots in Bulgaria and Serbia and Czech Republic in Europe, in Mexico and North America, in Philippines, in Asia. I think that these locations are wonderful locations for global multinational companies that are looking for a global EMS partner. And then lastly, I'd say it's the people, right? I had met a number of people at the company before I chose to take the job. They were interviewing me, obviously, and I was interviewing them to just get a feel for them and get a feel for their attitude and what they thought was right about the company, what they thought needed improvement. So yeah, those three things I thought really lined up. And maybe lastly, the customers, right? This company has the customer list at this company is, the who's who of who you'd want to do business with in automotive, in industrial and medical. So really good group of customers that I think if we provide the right service will flourish for IMI.
Good. That's a good list. There's a lot to unpack there. Let me pick at a few of them real quick. The Ayala Group, and I know that Arthur has referred to them in the past, and I'm aware of them. So, what is the charter that the board gave you? IMI just did what? You just celebrated your 44th year anniversary.
Yeah,
So they've been around
that's
for
right.
a while. So you're really,
Yes.
you're moving into a next with a new CEO into a next phase. What are you charged with?
First of all, you referenced Art a few times. Art did a fantastic job. Art gets all the credit for having built a fantastic company, right?
Mhm.
He really, he had the vision to take, IMI from where it was when he joined, and to combine that with, Speedy Tech out of Southeast Asia and China, and Epic out of Europe and Mexico. So he pulled together the pieces. He shepherded those pieces and really helped to when you have three different cultures like that, three different ways of going to market and doing business, to be able to make all that work was really phenomenal. He did a great job pulling that off, right? And as I take over, this is a $1.2 billion company, as you mentioned, number 22 in the industry, just a great solid foundation. So I think that the company is, while on the right track, I think that there are things that can be done now to improve the company's performance. And so, I was brought in to really take the company organizationally to the next level,
Mhm.
to make it more efficient, to help it deliver, more effectively and efficiently for the customers, and review the footprint. Right, that's something that always needs I think, every 5 to 7 years you should be doing that, and that's probably something that is a little overdue. So I think the main idea here is, while we're going into a pretty tough time for the EMS industry in general, I think ensuring that the company is set up to succeed, over the next, 3, 5, 10 years. That's my charter. That's what I'm here to do.
Okay. Yeah, I think about it in terms of leadership changes. In organizations, they generally run in a certain course. So you've mentioned a few, but what are the main focus areas for you in this early phase of your leadership tenure?
So organization, right? That's one of the things I know how to do well. We are restructuring the company to make it flatter, so that there aren't as many levels, and there aren't as many silos. Make it extremely clear from an accountability perspective, what's expected of people and how they're going to be measured, what they're very specifically what their KPIs are. And then really communicating with people how important what they do is to the customer and to the company, right? That,
Mhm.
making sure that every single person at the company understands how important they are to our ultimate success. There are some divisions of the company that have been struggling. The company has a power module packaging business, right?
Mhm.
That has been struggling. And I personally believe that this area of the company has an incredible amount of promise if it is managed well and led well. So I've taken that division on personally. So the leader, I've made a change in the leadership in that division, and they report directly to me. And I come from a mechanical background, so it's kind of perfect for me, because the packaging of a in the power module business is all about mechanical, right? It's plastics, it's a substrate, and so I really believe I can come in and make an immediate difference there. And
Mhm.
so take that from a multiple $1 million loss business to a multiple $1 million gain business, in very short order. We have a really exciting camera business that I think deserves a little more attention. These are LiDAR and other camera for the automotive industry. And the company has great capabilities there in the Philippines that I think has gone maybe partially overlooked recently. So I'm spending a lot of time with that to turn that around. Mexico has struggled for this company. So, I have to make decisions there about, being in, or out, right? So, you can't be half into anything, right? In this world, it's a really competitive place. So, ensuring that wherever we are, if we're going to be there, we are there in force, and we are delivering.
Mhm.
So, those are, top of mind, those are the most important things that I've been doing and am doing in the first 100 days. The last thing I'll say is sourcing, right? I feel like, 70% of the value we deliver to customers is brought in from outside our four walls, right? So we really, really have to be great at sourcing if we're going to deliver great value to our customers. And so, and that's especially true on the mechanical side. And again, I come from that background. A lot of our customers are really good on the electrical side when it comes to sourcing. They know a lot about what they want, and they understand the cost structure on that side. I think that a lot of the large OEMs don't know as much about the mechanical industry and the sources that are available, and the difference between a world-class, best-in-class like die caster, right, and an average die caster is huge from a cost and quality perspective. Same with, metal stamping, same with magnets and springs and batteries and just about everything you can think of that goes into a product. And, the mechanical aspects of a product are so important to its function and success, and competitiveness, that if you don't, as an EMS company, I believe if you don't do that well, then you're going to struggle to succeed. We do have our own plastics in-house, injection molding. In the past, that has been looked at as, kind of the red-haired stepchild at IMI, right? Like maybe a necessary evil. We'll do it when customers require us to do it. I guess I'm turning that on its head a bit, and focusing on that, investing in that. And it's already, even in the first 100 days, that's paying off, because I believe that we can do business with customers just for plastics. We don't have to just use our plastics business to complement our box build, right? So now I'm opening that up to our sales team, and explaining to our sales team that we can be the best in this business when it comes to plastics, and importantly, complex plastics like connectors, custom connectors, which are a big challenge for our customers in automotive. So, getting in and providing a competitive option to, companies like Molex and Autosplice, and go down the list, right? I think we are already doing that, and we will continue to do that. And so, I think that will ultimately give us an important edge when we compete.
Okay. You've referenced a few times in your comments, and I appreciate hearing it, the first 100 days, because new CEO always talk, right? And it's written about in all the tombs, right? So how would you, in doing so, what's your style? What's your leadership style in engaging and driving the change that you're talking about?
That's a great question, and one that I care a lot about. I am a transformational servant-based leader. I'm here to help the people at this company get their jobs done, right? So the people that work for me know exactly what they need to do. And a lot of times it's about providing them with the guidance and with decisiveness. When they come to me to talk about a decision, a critical decision, being the ear, asking the right questions, being a critical thinker, and ultimately being there to help them understand what they believe is the best way to go forward, right? And so asking the right questions and active listening, and then, guiding. And I think in a lot of cases, people will come to me and have a need for, whether it's money or people or, help with a customer. I'm there to help them, right? My job is all about enabling the people at the company. And I'll also tell you this, there's a bit of charisma required, right? There's, you have to have people feeling like, this is fun. This is getting out and working your butt off, right? Every single day on behalf of the customer and then winning and being able to celebrate those wins. It's a little bit like a sport, right? When you're on a team sport with a bunch of teammates and you're out there and you're just half doing it and you're not really trying in practice, and then you go out and get beat on the weekend or whatever, you wherever you play, it's really no fun, right? But when you're out there and you're all pulling together and you're all working hard and you're all supporting the hell out of each other, and then you go out and win on behalf of the customer, you win a big program, you win an award with a customer tells you how great you are. Man, for me at 60 years old, that's my Super Bowl, right? And so I feel like getting up in front of the company and revitalizing the company in these first 100 days, having town hall meetings, helping to articulate what our goals are, and helping to articulate how important every single individual is in the company. Because I think sometimes people get into a job and they think, what I do isn't all that important. No, it is. Every single person's contributions are important. They wouldn't be there if it weren't the case. So that to me is like what really excites me, Eric, every single day. It's what has me popping out of bed and what has me interested and loving the job that I do. And I do a lot of skip level meetings. So I meet with people that are, 3 levels down from me. And in Asia, in the US, that works pretty well. In Asia, I feel like sometimes in the meetings, they're scared to death because, they think, they shouldn't be doing this. But that's the kind of culture I'm trying to create, is that culture of, hey, we're all in this together. There's no backstabbing. Like, nobody says anything negative about somebody else unless they're standing in front of them. Because that's that backstabbing, culture of talking about each other, is a terrible culture. So, building that sense of camaraderie and teamwork, and then having everybody know that they matter and their results matter, and there is no replacement for hard work.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's excellent. That's excellent.